Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between Cass and HurricanE. On the top right hand side of the map we have Cass, who was random getting the green Undead colors here on Northern Isle. Meanwhile on the bottom left we have HurricanE spawning as the blue Night Elf. Let's go ahead and get to that, 2-minute mark in this game as we will be able to start making predictions. Is it going to be a Demon Hunter or Keeper of the Grove? Demon Hunter, the long-term enemy of Undead, being able to actually control some of the mana from the Undead heroes. Meanwhile, coming back around here, what is this? A very late Altar of Darkness. Wait, what? Tech to tier 2 before Altar of Darkness. All right, my brain feels like I should not have. My brain's just trying to process all of that information right now that I just saw. All right, so a very late tech, or a very late Altar of Darkness, a very fast tech to tier 2. What would be interesting is then if he went Tavern Hero, and also there is a Necropolis hidden down over to the south here. So this is all a very specific build. This Necropolis providing supply while actually providing blight and needing less lumber also allows him to train up acolytes if some of his acolytes get pressured early. This is I'm still trying to process all of this information right now in this game. So yes, we can see Cass has in fact gone for a chemical raging goblin alchemist as that first hero, and now at tier 2 we may actually see 2 heroes out here on the battlefield before the 4-minute mark. That would be one of the fastest things I've ever seen. All right, Crypt taking quite a bit of damage. Ghouls coming across here. We could be going in for mass gargoyles as well. There's that Tomb of Relic. There's a Ziggurat back as well. Little bit of damage. And the Necropolis, this is going to be interesting. The Necropolis is going to come online much faster than HurricanE is expecting. Yeah, 4-minute mark of this game, and the Necropolis is already there. That's going to slow down the attack of the Demon Hunter, and the Demon Hunter may not be able to take down this Crypt any longer because an Acolyte is going to be able to come back and repair. Meanwhile, Chemical Raging Goblin Alchemist is just draining all of these moon wells by attacking these wisps off to the side here. We don't see a second hero as of yet. As it does take a little bit of a cost to try and train up, but this Chemical Raging Goblin Alchemist is just like attacking these wisps and just trying to take them down over and over. Meanwhile, back across here, this is going to give HurricanE plenty of time to just go after creep camps. Meanwhile, gargoyles are going to be jumping into the skies here, and well, I'm really curious as to what this Chemical Raging Goblin Alchemist really plans to do. HurricanE able to hide a bunch of wisps in like just random locations where the Goblin Alchemist cannot get within melee range. And now that Alchemist is just going to, retreat back here. We do see some gargoyles already out, and this was always a planned attack. By draining these moonwells earlier, the follow-up gargoyles can actually deal damage and finish off these wisps slightly faster. All right, the gargoyles are out onto play here. We are still only seeing on one hero. Very fast tech to tier 2 for very fast gargoyles, but no second hero yet as more acolytes are being trained. Curious as to why that is going down as well. Meanwhile, Demon Hunter, Ring of Regeneration with Mana Burn and Immolation. Decent hit point regeneration for that Demon Hunter. Not as much survivability though, as the gargoyles are still wandering around here trying to figure out how to get to critical mass. We're going to see that Ancient of War take quite a bit of damage. Well, nope. The gargoyles seemingly not quite sure where they want to go yet, as the Chemical Raging Goblin Alchemist is going to be going after the Tuskar Trapper and now setting up an expansion. All right, so Cass going for an expansion here. Dual Ziggurats down to the south. Demon Hunter are going to be able to get to level 3. Meanwhile, the gargoyles are looking to finish off or be able to pick off some of these wisps somewhere. I don't believe the archers, they do not have 700 range yet, as the gargoyles are just wandering around, perhaps trying to pick off some of these buildings as they're being constructed. All right, going to go after this Ancient of Lore here. No, the Ancient Protector with that 700 range, enough to keep those gargoyles at bay. Goblin Alchemist sitting at level 2. We don't see a second hero yet. The Goblin Alchemist should be able to make up some of that lost time and experience since he is a solo hero. But at the same time, the Demon Hunter now also a solo hero, while the Demon Hunter is at tier 2 as well. Do we see? Nope. No second hero being trained. All right. Demon Hunter going after the Ogre Magi creep camp. Is he going to end up getting taken down? Picks up a scroll of the beast, going to try and back away. Escapes away at 48 hit points as the panda is now out here on the battlefield. All right. Demon Hunter able to dodge away, try and hide. Where is that panda? Panda is going to be coming back home, trying to use that breath of fire and blow things over. Good to see less typical Yep. This tactic is still confusing me just a bit. Not sure what. Oh, gargoyles. Oh, if the gargoyles were able to get the final shot off on that Demon Hunter, that demon that would have given the Goblin Alchemist perhaps even level 3. The Demon Hunter purposely falls here as we see an Ancient Protector off to the north. All right, so the Ancient Protector purposely walked his way 8 through the trees to head off to the north here, and now is fighting behind all of this position. However, the Halls of the Dead able to get in some of that big damage as well. So I guess a back road into the base right there, not something that I was expecting on seeing. This is a lot of strange happenings in a single game that I'm trying to keep track of. All right, Goblin Shredder. Well, clearing out these trees pretty quickly. You can take a look. Meanwhile, down across here is the Alchemist. Does have Acid Bomb, so there is that negative armor damage onto the tracker. But going after the Sorcerer first, not quite sure what that's about. There's Inner Fire there. A little bit of damage, a little bit of bonus damage. Once more, just trying to finish off that tracker before that tracker, well, gets a rejuvenation, or there's another Inner Fire. All right, tracker gonna get taken down. All right, Talisman of Evasion on the Goblin Alchemist. Gargoyles looking to clear up that Tuskar Sorcerer. Gonna be some easy kills again. Alchemist just shy of, or still shy of level 4, and we are still looking at a solo Alchemist after all this time. Now, solo Alchemist is always a interesting concept, because the Alchemist, that transmute ability is just that strong. If you're able to use get to level 6 on that Goblin Alchemist quickly, that transmute is only a 45-second cooldown. If you're able to constantly just transmute and then just carry tons of potions of mana, any battle longer than 2 minutes suddenly becomes a battle in your favor, as you're exchanging extremely well. Also, the Chemical Rage allows the Goblin Alchemist to hit and run and throw those transmutations, well, pretty freely, and by being able to do hit and run tactics as well, they're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, deciding whether or not you want to force an engagement or not. All right, Goblin Alchemist, little bit of Acid Bomb damage, gonna go ahead and Chemical Rage, try to finish off one. Archer does finish off one. Chemical Rage still chasing after other archers here, but gets tripped up by a frog. All right, so a frog ends up protecting a little bit. Archer may end up getting finished off, though. That's -4 armor, and the Chemical Raging Alchemist's damage is rather high, 37 to 64. Much high on the higher end than most auto-attacking heroes, but also a much wider range. All right, coming through, Null Overseer going to get taken down here. Scourge Bone Chimes picked up. That's going to give the Alchemist a way to heal up a little bit of additional damage as well, as he's absorbing quite a bit too. Level 2 Chemical Rage finishing off more of these Null Assassins. Perhaps going to pick up a Scroll of Healing. One more attack there. Going to go ahead and take it down. But yeah, picks up a Scroll of Healing, sells that Ritual Dagger, and now going to move on its merry way. Meanwhile, let's take a look here. Goblin Shredder. All right, so Cass actually using this Necropolis as a way to clear out lumber easily. I'm not quite sure what that is going to be about there. Meanwhile, some more hit and run tactics. Demon Hunter, however, able to keep them back at bay again, as we are going to be looking at no obsidian statues. All right, so there's some damage. There's Scourge Bone Chimes. Are we going to see a Ritual Dagger followed by, yeah, there's that Ritual Dagger for that heal. And now it's going to be just picking up, dropping things off as the Goblin Alchemist does need quite a bit more mana. Perhaps should pick up a Clarity Potion as well. We are at Halls of the Dead. We don't see a Slaughterhouse. And yeah, this is one of the strangest Undead games I've spotted in quite some time. At Tier 2, no Slaughterhouse, no Undead Hero. And the gargoyles are just trying to, well, make a play somewhere. There are plenty of dryads. We can see an ancient protector is also down. And now, well, Cass is playing a little bit inefficiently, but at the same time, HurricanE, it doesn't quite know how to respond here, as we're also looking at Cass building up a very large bank of gold. Look at that, he's sitting on 2,000 gold, and now this extra Goblin Shredder makes perfect sense. He's going to try and bank up a bunch and then perhaps break into high upkeep with, well, just so many units. All right, Chemical Raging Goblin Alchemist looking to finish off this Tree of Life, trying to maintain that advantage and able to do exactly that. Meanwhile, Gargoyle going to get taken down. There's a mana burn onto the Chemical Raging Alchemist. There's a Breath of Fire, and suddenly all of these ghouls are going to be taking quite a bit more damage. All right, Panda now sitting at level 3. Level 2 Breath of Fire going to be coming online here. We're going to see one Gargoyle get taken down. However, the Alchemist does get to level 5 here as well. More Breath of Fire blowing over some units. We're going to see another Gargoyle getting shot out of the sky. Level 4, nearly level 4, and a level 3 Panda, as we're looking at just one more shot. Nope, not hitting the right units at all. All right, round of attack going after those units there. All right, we're looking at some easy attacks on perhaps onto a Dryad. There goes one, and there's that level 4 on that Demon Hunter. All right. More gold still getting collected here. Chemical Raging Goblin Alchemist looking to finish off this Ancient Protector. No, well, one more attack is going to be enough. Who are going to get taken down? And the Chemical Raging Goblin Alchemist says, you know what? See ya, I'm out of here. Yep. All right, maybe that Acolyte just there, hanging back to try and repair. You can see still 3,300 lumber here. Some repairs getting underway. There is a Temple of the Damned. Are we going into meat? Are we going into... We are going into Necromancer Meat Wagon. All right, so talk about trying to keep your opponent off guard. Going Necromancer Meat Wagon is just going to be coming out of left field suddenly, when you're expecting and trying to figure out how to deal with Goblin Alchemist Gargoyles. You're going to be going for a lot of anti-air attacks. Those Dryads particularly useful, as the Chemical Raging Alchemist now making its way across here. Meanwhile, off to the north, Panda taking quite a bit of damage, down to 286. It looks like though we do have Druids of the Claw out here on the battlefield, and now we're just diving in. That Chemical Raging Goblin Alchemist trying to find an easy target, finds the Goblin Shredder. Chemical Rage, are we going to see a mana burn? And we're looking at that, well, that Goblin Shredder going to get taken down pretty quickly. Goblin Shredder taking down Alchemist now has a little bit of a problem. He needs to try to get out of there. Dryads are getting cleaned up pretty quickly as well. Remember, that piercing damage is, well, hazardous to that Dryad's health, as the Moonwells are getting cleared up. Meanwhile, Alchemist needs to retreat back away nearly at level 6, and I think that's exactly what he was going for. Just trading units for experience onto that Alchemist in trying to get to level 6. All right, remember, this has already been cleared out, so this Goblin Shredder should be able to clear out this, neck of the woods, so to speak, or precisely, pretty quickly. Meanwhile, Tech to Tier 3 nearly done, and we're going to see some damage getting down. What is this? This is a Dark Ranger second. So a Dark Ranger with Siphon Life as the primary ability. What is going on here as the Chemical Raging Goblin Alchemist purposely dives in? Mana burn onto the Dark Ranger, not enough to finish it off, and I guess we kind of see our first Undead hero. All right, Dark Ranger does have a potion of healing. Both sides going to be fighting a little bit here. Still no slot, or there's that slaughterhouse. We are looking at Temple of Dam training up necromancers, and this is all under the watchful eye of HurricanE, who may realize that something is up. All right, purposely denying that Goblin Shredder there, as he wants to stay out of upkeep. All right, meanwhile, both sides are still fighting here. We see a Ritual Dagger was used, a lot of healing necromancers now online. Are we perhaps going to see some units pop on out? Obsidian Statues, the first to be joining in on the fight before the meat wagons, and we are looking at more Temple of the Dams getting online. All right, Crypt not nearly as important as those Temple of the Dams in the back now. The Goblin Alchemist still just shy of level 6, and it may be just shy for quite some time as more Necromancers getting trained up. Second Crypt about to get taken down. Remember, HurricanE only has 1,000 gold or 800 gold. Meanwhile, Cass still has 2,400 gold ready here, and he is currently in low upkeep, so he is no longer mining as efficiently as he was previously. Breath of Fire blows over that Crypt, and well, I believe HurricanE feels like he dealt a killing or a decent amount of damage, but may not realize this. What is this Goblin Shredder doing? It still needed to collect a good amount of lumber. This Goblin Shredder is, well, just heading into a weird position. Meanwhile, Dark Ranger going to try and get to level 2. Is Wand of Negation? All right, Wand of Negation now picked up by Dark Ranger, as we see a couple of Banshees out here on the battlefield as well. Banshee Adept training getting added in. We are getting Disease Cloud. This is, well, I can't predict the ending to this game at all. All right, top left side, HurricanE setting up an expo. Meanwhile, this base has about 9 minutes left of mining. And meanwhile, Dark Ranger draining a bunch of that hit points from the Tuskar Trapper. The Dark Ranger with that Siphon Mana or Siphon Life, don't get to say that very often, with Siphon Life actually acting as a little bit of a tank. Just stands there, takes the beating, but then has plenty by just standing in that position, able to just tank a little bit of that damage. All right, Silence has the follow-up ability to try and slow down perhaps the breath of fire of that panda. Meanwhile, Chemical Raging Goblin Alchemist now needs to just simply fall back. Boots of Speed, taking that long trek home. Demon Hunter does also have Boots of Speed as well. Alchemist just continuing to run. The Goblin Alchemist on the back of that ogre saying faster, 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 as we're going to be looking at perhaps, are we going to see, well, we could actually see a cripple here. This would be really interesting if there's actually a Necromancer who could place down cripple onto that Demon Hunter. There's Curse right now, and that Demon Hunter is going to end up getting taken down, giving level 6 to the... Oh, that was a grave miscalculation, and now all that Chemical Raging Alchemist needs is an Obsidian statue nearby transmutation, gets a Druid of the Claw, and now continuing the fight here. Staff of Preservation for the save there. More damage onto that Demon, or onto that Brewmaster. Brewmaster does have a Scroll of Town Portal, should be able to get away. That Chemical Rage is actually the level 3 variety. That is a very fast moving, very fast hitting Goblin Alchemist, just racking up so much damage again. All right, coming back across 3,000 gold, 3,000 lumber, still collecting. We are looking at mastery training here, and Banshee mastery training. We could be looking at possession, and Undead now the one, well, going for perhaps an additional expansion. All right, top left side of the map, Meat Wagons just flinging and that siege damage onto that Tree of Life. That is going to come as a bit of a shock here. Little bit of siege, a little bit of disease damage. Meanwhile, on the bottom left here, Dark Ranger is going to have some problems. Necromancer's trying to summon up a pop-up army. Is it going to be enough? Staff of Preservation brings back some units. Chemical Raging Goblin Alchemist still has enough for another transmute, but he needs the gold. Doesn't have enough gold right now, just finishing off unit after unit after unit, as we're going to look at the Magnetar Reaver get taken out. Kagar's Pipe of Insight, that is exactly what is needed here, as there's possession on the Ogre Magi. I was like, how did that happen? Possess the Ogre Magi to gain access to Bloodlust. All right. And now the Alchemist is just going to make its way across here, perhaps find another Druid of the Claw. There's another Transmute, and backing away. One of the fastest level 6 Goblin Alchemists I've ever seen, as we're looking at more units making their rounds again. All right. Main bases nearly mined out. Expansion here has about another 6 minutes of mining left. Undead will need to find a way to stay good, as well. Cass is in this really weird spot. He's in low upkeep, has plenty of gold, and could break into a higher version of low upkeep if he chose to. He actually has a bunch of things also queued up, so he just needs enough production building. So losing those 2 earlier crypts, perhaps the reason why he's not able to break into that low upkeep, into the higher ranges of low upkeep as he originally wanted. All right. This Necropolis, 61/70 supply. We need to see additional ziggurats get set up. This haunted gold mine about to get taken out. The Panda and the Demon Hunter are going to supply block. What? Nope. Never mind. 69/80 supply. Additional ziggurats were propped up somewhere? All right. I guess down here? All right. Oh my goodness, that chemical raging bloodlusted goblin alchemist really attacking like a fiend. Are we going to see another bloodlust on him? That was pretty impressive. I don't know if you guys saw that. That chemical raging goblin alchemist got a bloodlust from the ogre magi, was able to take down, deal so much damage, and pretty much shut it off. Meanwhile, Meatwagon is still coming across here trying to shut down this tree of life as we're looking at the Necromancer's getting caught out of position. All right, Necromancer's getting caught out of position. We're going to see, a little bit of damage here. Mana burn, well, Ogre Magi, Demon Hunter gets stabbed to preservation back home. Still more pressure coming back across. We're going to see some cripples. Yeah, cripple onto the Druid of the Claw. That's going to get taken out here as the Chemical Raging Goblin Alchemist is going to go ahead and transmute another target. So Kagar's Pipe of Insight plus Obsidian Statues means mana for days on the Goblin Alchemist as we're going to be continue to try and put in more pressure. And actually, is there an attack speed cap? I've seen crazy high attack speeds in custom map games. I don't know if there is an attack speed cap built into the WarCraft 3 engine for for ladder and ranked matches. That's actually something I've never witnessed. All right. Dark Ranger out here on the battlefield, summoning up not summoning up skeletal minions. That's right, it was Siphon, level 2 Siphon Life, as we're going to be looking at more skeletal minions popping up from those Necromancers. All right, Alchemist still waiting to get a little bit more mana again. Obsidian Statue, Ogre Magi also benefiting from that Brilliance Aura as well. Moonwell down here. And we're looking at 2 level 5 heroes going up against a level 6 and a level 3. All right. Bloodlust on a Necromancer. That cannot be on purpose. Not quite sure what that was about. Bloodlust on the Alchemist there. So the Alchemist attacking, well, not that quickly. Demon Hunter comes back across, and you can see that the reason, Staff of Teleportation, and now we're going to see an Acid Bomb onto the Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter trying to get away, and now the Chemical Raging Goblin Alchemist with Bloodlust just attacking. And remember, he's actually moving and attacking at the same, moving and being able to get those attacks, and also getting Unholy Frenzy. All right, so Unholy Frenzy, Bloodlust, Chemical Rage, I think only add in a level 3 Tauren Chieftain's Endurance Aura. I think that's the only thing that's really missing in terms of speed in order to get a faster attack speed. All right, there's that pop-up army now. That's going to be scary. Meat wagons, well, unloading those corpses. And now, well, we're going to see a bit of a battle here. Tree of Eternity was trying to move and then finds himself out in a little bit of a weird spot. Meanwhile, Chemical Raging Goblin Alchemist is going to go ahead and transmute again. Gets level 4 onto the Dark Ranger. And this is just HurricanE trying to retreat back here. So much Disease Cloud trying to fight as the Chemical Raging Goblin Alchemist, and, well, no longer has Bloodlust, no longer has Frenzy, but still rather scary as both sides are fighting their way through. Dark Ranger going to be forced to retreat back here. Meat Wagon's trying to get in some more lobs. This is going to be a problem for the Dark Ranger, down to 149 hit points, trying to retreat all the way back and able to do exactly that. But that front line is very weak. Suddenly, HurricanE has access to Metamorphosis, and he's going to be able to get in some good splash damage onto all of these units as well. All of these skeletal minions are not very strong against this splash damage, you can see that they're actually falling pretty quickly as the Dryads are now trying to dive in as well. Meanwhile, the Alchemist down to 93, 835, 44 hit points. He's going to end up falling. Demon Hunter getting up to level 6. Really the big change here as the Alchemist falls at level 6. There goes level 5 onto the Dark Ranger. Dark Ranger still has plenty of heal, and the Disease Cloud and so many problems as the Brewmaster trying to escape away back behind some of those Moonwells. All right, Meat Wagon's going to start lobbing just to take down some of these buildings, take away some of the ways for the Night Elf to heal, and that is going to be a problem as we're looking at the Dryads trying to back away. 55 supply compared to 26. Remember, well, still, Cass has a 3,000 gold advantage over his opponent as he's just been sitting in no upkeep for so long, and now he's not even really breaking that high here. Look at that pop-up army just keeping that Demon Hunter at bay. No wisps for detonation, and you remove all of these skeletal minions, and there isn't much of an army here. Dark Ranger, the Goblin Alchemist did get resurrected at the tavern. He's back out onto the battlefield, getting healed up by that by this obsidian statue, and now perhaps going to be able to venture forth. More gold still being mined on the southern side, but well, I think this is going to be the beginning of the end. Cass really just playing with his food now, sitting at 60 over 80 supply with 2,000 gold in the bank, mining off of one base. He's not trying to go for the big kill, just having a lot of fun as this Hunter's Hall about to get shut down. All right, back to the southern side here. Well, Necromancer is making a little bit of a move. Meat Wagon's going to finish off all of the Moonwells down in the main base. And now it is going to be up to HurricanE to try to find a solution. Perhaps that level 6 Demon Hunter or maybe level 6 Brewmaster, 2 level 6 heroes could overcome. That is a very tall order, though, for the Brewmaster as they're going to get ready and get into position. All right. Brewmaster backs away here. You can see level 5 Dark Ranger. Could you imagine a scarier combination to run into? You have a level 6 Dark Ranger, level 6 Alchemist. You walk into that fight, and you instantly see one of your units get turned into gold, and the other unit suddenly starts attacking you as it gets charmed. That's got to be a crazy, crazy engagement here as the Demon Hunter now looking to back up again. Demon Hunter's Metamorphosis still needs, well, another 11 seconds or so. He's going to try and back away, He is currently crippled. There's that chemical raging. Wow, look how fast he's attacking the air still. One more shot. Oh! Over high ground there. Meanwhile, Earth, Storm, and Fire now onto the ground here. Demon Hunter back onto the ground. Here's Metamorphosis. He's going to try and engage now. He's going to be able to get in some easy damage as well. Earth, Storm, and Fire destroying some of these ground units. Meanwhile, the Dark Ranger trying to drain life from the Demon Hunter as the Demon Hunter now backs away again. Meanwhile, Earth, Storm, and Fire still continuing this fight here. There's a Cyclone. Storm is going to get poofed into nothing. There's still Earth out onto the battlefield, but I believe that is the last one of the trifecta. If that is the last one of the trifecta, well, when it gets taken down, it does end up getting lost. Ogre Magi does end up getting, taken down here. So gonna lose Bloodlust as the Panda able to escape away at 348 hit points, turning back into his normal self. Back off to the north here, Skeletal Minion or Mages still dealing damage. Panda trying to come across. There's a big Breath of Fire, but that's not going to be enough damage. He needs another round of Breath of Fire to deal with all of these Necromancers, especially if they're getting healed by that Obsidian statue. All right, drain the Moonwell. So Staff of Preservation doesn't take him out of harm's way, and that is probably going to be the game here as, yep, HurricanE unable to take on Kaz and this random opening from the Undead. Random in that it was plain random, going for a delayed Altar of Darkness, going for Alchemist first, and then just I can't even begin to explain it. Let me know what you guys thought about the game below and whether it is a viable new meta. Here are the final scores.